back to you live on Ziglar Nation, and I've got my good buddy Kevin Harrington, the original shark from the TV show Shark Tank, also the guy who made infomercials part of our world and brought to you, but wait, there's more. So with that being said, before we start, we've got a killer message that we want to deliver here, and I know I'm building up a little hype, but before I do, I want to hear where you guys are from. I want to know where you're listening from. And I also love to know every time we go live on Zig Ziglar's page, I love to know if anybody out there was impacted by Zig Ziglar. And if you were, I love to see the thumbs up. So I want to see in the comments where you're listening from. And I want to see in the comments thumbs up if you were impacted by Zig Ziglar. Now, I also want to know if you listened to Kevin and I yesterday, because we were live about this exact same time yesterday. So if you were live with us yesterday, then I want to see an okay sign in the comments. So thumbs up if Zig made a difference. Okay if you heard Kevin and I yesterday. That'll give us a chance to connect with you, see who's listening to us, and where you guys are listening from. And I got to just ask you, Kevin, okay? You know, you're in Florida. I'm in Indiana. You know, I know you've been crushing it all day long. Your day started before 6 a.m. It's 6 p.m. down in Tampa. You know, what in the world is it about Zig Ziglar that would keep you going at 6:17 tonight that you'd want to share with Ziglar Nation more about your mentor, Zig Ziglar?
Well, so, I mean, first of all, I believe Zig was such a giving human being that he wanted to help as many people as possible. That was his philosophy in life. And as my mentor and the things that I learned from him, I have a duty to actually share the things that I learned and the techniques that I developed. You mentioned, but wait, there's more. There's a whole story on that I can tell you about. But it's at the end of the day, I don't care how many hours in a day I work, I'm still motivated to share with anybody out there the most important thing that I believe, because I've been in the SC and TV business and I've been in other businesses. I've been on Shark Tank, et cetera, et cetera. That is sales. You must always think about selling. And that's Zig wrote the book on it. He's the sales master, the secrets of closing the sale. So this was the one thing that changed my life. You know, when I was learning the infomercial business, I could take a little sales technique on closing the sale, because people that were watching infomercials, we weren't in front of them. This wasn't like a face-to-face sale. We had to sell them without them getting a chance to tell us what their objections were. So, you know, that was a pretty difficult sale to make, but we used some of the most sophisticated closing techniques. And like I said, Zig was the man. That's how we got to $5 billion in sales. Anybody that's listening right now whether they know it or not, they're in sales. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I want to do something. Number one, I want to tell everybody, if you're listening and you know somebody that would enjoy hearing this, like and share this. The only way anybody's going to hear this is if they like and share it. Okay. And we've got a gift for you. In fact, we've got a PDF that's like 15 pages, and it really outlines everything Kevin's talking about this one thing. So if you'll comment anything, we will send you an invitation to get this PDF. We've got a gift from you. We don't want you to miss it. So put something in the comments. And in fact, I'm going to give you something to put in the comments, because I know something about Kevin. I know that he started selling very young. So I want you to put in the comments, if you've ever sold anything in your life, if you can remember the first thing you sold, the very first thing you sold, put it in the comments. All right. I remember the first thing I sold, Kevin, was a mousetrap.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I sold a mousetrap. I gave a demonstration on how to sell a better mousetrap of all things. Now, Why don't you share the very first thing that really you started selling? Because, man, you were a door-to-door salesman as a teenager.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And, you know, I was selling driveway sealing in Cincinnati, Ohio. If you had an asphalt driveway and you had a crack in your driveway, which after a few years, asphalt driveways, all of them got cracks. Along comes winter, water gets in those cracks, freezes, the crack triples in size. You're ruining your driveway. So I would knock on their door, show them this demonstration of, talk about it, and then show them the neighbor's driveway that I sealed and protected the cracks, and then beautified the driveway with before and after pictures. Magical transformation, which is one of the top selling techniques that I've used. But the bottom line is that the first 20 doors I knocked on, I got the door slammed in my face. I was 15 years old driving up on a bicycle, right? But as I learned the techniques and learned how to sell, it changed my life, because I could go from a 10% close rate to a 90% close rate by using certain techniques. And by the way, Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale, there's more than 100 closing techniques in there. And I to this day, I carry Zig's book with me when I travel beside my bed. I read, and I'll read a closing technique and think, yes, I know that I've heard that, but I get some new information every time, because you can't memorize 100 closing techniques, right? So it's just so cool to always understand. You just pick up the book and read, and you're going to find some new ways to close deals in your life.
Man, Kevin, I was reading the comments while you were talking. We have people that their first sale was Girl Scout cookies. Their first sale was nail polish. It was newspapers. It was magazines. Mohammed's first sale was a mousetrap, just like me, which is awesome. And so everybody was selling something, and I think that really proves it. The comments were just flowing through that, we all, nothing really happens without sales. And so, in fact, I want to remind everybody, we've got a free gift for you. This PDF that we've got for you is incredible. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And Zig was the master at helping us all see that nothing happens without sales. In fact, in this PDF, we've outlined how Christopher Columbus was the original salesman for America, because Queen Isabella, she gave him all this money to find India. Kevin, he missed India by 12,000 miles. But he went back and he sold her that he found something better than India. Okay. Right. And George Washington, he sold our country to fight the world superpower in England. And he basically said, sign up here. And if we win, all right, I'm not going to pay you anything. But if we lose, you're going to get hung. So our country was all founded by salespeople. And then, I'll toss the ball back to you. How about some business icons of today? Who comes to mind? I know one of your buddies from the little island down there that you went to is one of them. But I'm sure you've got a couple other big business mentors that you can talk about for a minute, and they probably have sales in common.
I mean, listen, Richard Branson, as you mentioned, I went down to Necker Island, hung out with Richard Branson, and I've had a few pretty good mentors in my life. Starting, my father was my original mentor.